Yo, 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 yo. What's good, people? What's good, people? It is me, Jason Gooner, and we are back in the studio for another episode of Reasoning Time. You know, it's World Cup playoffs in full swing. Jamaica got past New Caledonia 1-0. Thanks to each and every one of you who was here for the watch along. Had a lot of you pass through. We greatly appreciate all the views on the video. And of course, we had a wonderful time because Jamaica won the game. No, it wasn't all wonderful. We definitely had to sit through some difficult moments in that game. And of course, we are here tonight to break down everything about the DR Congo. That is our next opponent. And obviously, the most important one because this game is a do or die to make it into Group K at this summer's World Cup 2026. So we are here to dispel some of the things I've been hearing around the airwaves about this DR Congo team. People that I've heard saying that people are injured and not playing and maybe not match fit. Well, we're just here to put the facts out there. We're going to put the things on the screen, look at the players that have been selected by DR Congo, talk about what they've been doing this season at their clubs. We have some players from the DR Congo that got injured right before this window. We're going to talk about those players, and also we're going to talk about the club form overall of the players and just put some truth to everything we've been hearing about this team. How many of these players really are playing week in, week out for their clubs and performing, right? Because we're going to take a look at the players that have been playing for them for the most part. We kind of have a pretty good idea of what the 11 will be. I think give or take one or maybe 2 to 3 spots on the field. You can kind of think the coach might tweak here or there. But I think for the most part, the core of this team is pretty much set. The coach has been with this team since 2022, so we're going to look at that as well. The origins of this coach. Who is this coach? Yeah, we're going to look at all of these things, people, because one thing you have to do, if you're going to beat your opponents, you have to know them. So tonight is a night to really look at the opponents and talk about what they're up to. How do they play? Are the players that we're going to see playing? What have they been up to this season? Yeah, these are important things. So hopefully, I know that a lot of the members of the Reggae Boyz team, whether it be the coaching staff, technical staff, some of the players' families, them watch this year. Hopefully, this is a video that them can really look at and hopefully get something out of, because a lot of times we are here and we discuss the Reggae Boyz, right? What's the Reggae Boyz club form? What's the players doing? Listen, we've done that 1,000 times. Now we're going to have a night where we just focus on the opponents, because I don't think there's been a bigger opponent in the last, I don't know how many years, because right now it's a do or die. So we have to make sure we know what going into this game. So people, first thing you have to do, you see it on the screen, scrolling across, like, share, and subscribe. Again, I just want to give maximum respect to the people that tune in the other day. Got a lot of subscribers from that video. So yeah, hopefully this can be another one where the new faces that come along and see the content, yeah, they become subscribers, because there's a very, very high percentage of you on these videos watching and not hitting the subscribe button. So hopefully we can, as time goes by, we can get that number lower and lower and lower. Because right now, that number is way too high. Man should have way more subs based on the people that we are tuning in. So yeah, man, we're gonna work on it. And I think one of the ways we get there is that I get better at asking for the people to subscribe, because sometimes it just takes a little bit of encouragement. Yeah, man. So what this video is about, some encouragement for the Reggae Boyz for know say, yeah, we're there. We are trying to figure out what the other team depend. Put in some work before we come on today. I've been home for a little while. I could have do this video from earlier, but I was doing some more research before we came on. So yeah, man, you don't know my thing of people. When we say we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it to the utmost. So that's why we bring you this content, people. So 50 of you in the building from early, we love that. Make sure the likes are matching up with the viewership. That would be excellent. All right, people. Easy target of 100 likes tonight. So get us there quick and fast. You know you're gonna get a lot out of this video. And please share it, share it, share it. Make more people see it, because a lot of things I've been seeing on the internet from there. And it's these Congolese content creators basically buying tickets to go to the Group K matches already, right? So They're very confident people. They are very, very confident. We are all also a very confident people, but I want to say that most of us are kind of measured right now, which we really just want to get to Tuesday, get to game time, get to line up reveal time, and see how we feel then. At least that's how I feel still. All right. But people, tonight we'll get the lowdown on them brother from the Congo, all right, the Democratic Republic to be exact. Bless up yourself, Odelo in a building. Like up the live, yeah, man. Let them know. Jagan say, yo, 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 yo. Big up yourself, Jagans. Respect again for the membership. Joseph Brown, JB in a building, said, bless up, Jason. And the chat, big up yourself. Thanks again for the membership, my G. Yo, Jason, big up yourself, J. Hyman in a building. Jagan say honors and manners. Yeah, man, every time a G. Bless up Cosmic Reach. Joseph JB said, can't wait to hear your breakdown and insight. Yeah, man, that's what we're here for. Tomorrow night, people are gonna have a proper preview show where we do the normal style, break down the formations, break down the teams, the predicted 11s as we see it, and also dive into the tactical keys for both teams actually to get some success. We won't really tell the Congolese what they need to do to beat us, but I will tell the Jamaicans what we need to do to beat them. All right, because we're not giving no help, Congo. Boy, we don't have people for that, right? Yeah, man, Jagan say him definitely want to hear everything what go on, encouragement, sweet and labor them say absolutely. Why for low down upon these guys? Yeah, Demo, it's crazy. When I said it in my brain, I'm thinking Duckland, somebody is forwarding with a Y. That never sound right. So yeah, I have to take that one. No disrespect that you, if I know you or JD, I'm not really listen to keen, subscribe, but I just you two talk unbiased and with sense, fairness, and articulate it well. Yo, big up yourself in a JB. Yeah, man, we not have nothing against the YouTuber. We can do them thing. It is what it is. Everybody can get them fan base. There's a lot of people in the world, and yeah, everybody not gonna do it the same way. But I'm just glad that JB, you appreciate that. As he says, it's a craft to this thing, and we're not just here turning on the camera and chatting. You know, it's like it's for a purpose. You know what I mean? Bless up, Stets in a building. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Gunners boss in a building. Yeah, man, I haven't seen you in a while, my G. Yeah, me just say a wicked game today. What I made my research. Me have one eye on the screen. I look on some clips at DR Congo. Me have one eye on the big screen. I watch Duke versus UConn. What a game. Yo, if you watch college basketball, people, it was a classic today. UConn down the entire game, down 20 all in the first half. And them on them forward, bro, and start chip at the lead, chip at the lead, chip at the lead, chip at the lead. Yo, the man them end up score a 3-pointer with like 0.3 seconds to go up by one. Crazy, crazy game, yo. Mad, mad, mad. Yo, respect Gunners Boss Fee membership, you know. Salute. Yeah, man, that is a great way you can support the channel. It's just 199 people, not gonna kill you. But it's just a way for us to know, say, yeah, you support in a real way. Not that the subscriber them don't support, because you do too. And the ones that like the video, you are supporters too. But just like football, in the YouTube world, with the subscribers and the likes and the members, there's levels, you know. So Gunners Boss attain a new level of support today with the membership. So big up yourself again, Gunners Boss. Yeah, man. Bless up JA should take a page out of France's book. Boy, ironic. I would have taken the page, the chapter, the book, everything. Trust me. Because whatever France is doing, just do that. Them man, they are creating players like crazy. I never watched none of the basketball, but been wary of all these friendliest dome real baller play and CONCACAF looking shaky. Yo, may I tell you. Yeah, so the Duke game and the UConn game was at a time in the day where, I mean, no disrespect to the CONCACAF. No disrespect to the CONCACAF friendlies them going on today. I know El Salvador play and St. Vincent play and Cayman play and all these teams play, but that Duke UConn game from yesterday or from 2 nights ago when that matchup was going, I did put that time down. I said, yo, I'm not missing this game because just something about them two teams now when them play in the tournament, in the NCAA thing, them usually have good games. So I just did have a feeling, and it was a classic. So I'm really glad me did, watch that one there. But yeah, the friendly's been kind of mad. France looking like a machine. Brazil looking well. Can't even say worrisome, because a lot of the team was out, to be honest. But even still, I don't know if any players would have changed how France was doing what they were doing. And they did it again today, dominating Colombia for the most part. USA got a bag up, was very ugly against Belgium. The first half, they had some chances. Lamens made some wicked saves. Maybe it could have been different if the scoreline was different, but I don't think they would stop Belgium from scoring those 5 goals anyway. So the best it could have been is like 5-3, maybe 5-4. But either way, Belgium looked like they would just score more than the US. So a lot of question marks for Pochettino. I think Pochettino going to need to humble himself as a coach, because to me it looked like USA tried to basically outgun Belgium. And I think USA at some point going to have to realize against them team there, yes, we know you're a crazy fit team and you run around crazy, but you're going to have to realize that you're going to have to get behind the ball sometimes. Like, you cannot have this bunch of back and forth basketball style. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. These teams have too much quality to be giving them entries over and over and over and over again in games. I'm going to open it up eventually. So I think Pochettino got to humble himself. Yeah, man. Them not that great, mostly physical. Yeah. Who is not? Who is them not that great? Ironic. Who you talking about? Can't be France. Arizona looking unbeatable. Was talking about today. Who in UConn game? I picked Connecticut. Yeah, I picked Connecticut and Michigan today, and they both won. Arizona looking unbeatable, but Michigan, boy, a good team. That's gonna be a good game. I think it's Illinois, UConn, Arizona, Michigan. I only know Aaron Wan-Bissaka from West Ham United and Wissa from Newcastle. Yeah, we're gonna introduce you to some more of the players. Jay Hyman, we're gonna let you know. If you stick around, you'll definitely know more of the players. Yeah, former Brentford player Wissa. Belgium drop a half soaking, yeah man. 5-2 was ugly. When USA scored the last goal, the match basically was over. Yeah. The match was over by then. Bless up gigs, Potter Rocks. He need to humble himself, man. You can't want to go toe-to-toe against them big side there. I don't know why the hype over DR Congo and then backline ain't that good, especially the captain is very slow and oftentimes struggles with ball over the top and out of position, says Jermaine Blake. All right, Jermaine. Yeah, man, I remember you from in the comment section at JD show talking, well, not only his show, a lot of shows. And you seem very, very confident about this, which is good, No worries. 2-0 Congo get Tuesday. Big up yourself, Ozzy. And big up to Jeremy and Blake as well. Must be DR. Yeah, it must be DR. I was like, couldn't be France. Because he had talked about France before that. So I was just wondering, oh yeah, France then book a serious realty. Wow. Or a serious ref. Okay. So you're saying the physicality of the defenders, midfielders might go too far and I'm going to get some red cards. All right. Yeah, man, that game was great. Yo, Gunners boss, if you don't see the highlights of that game yet, trust me. That's a game worth just watching back. That's how good it was. Yeah, man, big humble pie them get, man. Bakambo them big baller, uncle Emirate. But a soup Tuesday. Boozer Sons will be deaf early. They are beasts, especially the taller one. Yeah, and the shorter one play wicked today. Well, I shouldn't say wicked. And the second half, him was a part of the reason why them lose. Man start turn over the ball all the time. Bro, DR Congo have a lot of player in the EPL and all over the top league in Europe. Yep, Dr. Dan. We're gonna put an end to everything because we're hearing a lot of things, Dr. Dan, from how Jermaine and Ozzy see it to how like some others might be overplaying how good Congo is. So we're gonna put everything on the screen, Dr. Dan, and let the people them decide with the facts. No more he say, she say, and them say, right? Let's go show them. The pundits were roasting Patch, like you said, how to play. Yeah, like JB, at some point, I'm not saying at times, high press, but you can't want to do that for 90 minutes, bro. It's not going to work. You're leaving Where on the island with Doku like 3-4 times in 10 minutes. Like, eventually, the man going to beat him, score, hit the post, set up a man for a goal. I mean, those things are obviously going to happen. Big up CK. Another member tuning in. Big up yourself, G. We guys are picking out all these faults that they have, but we don't have players that's going to take advantage of the mistakes. Well, not only that, Dr. Dan, like we also are a flawed team. So, I don't know. We have fault just the same. Reggae Boyz 2-1 red card loading for the Congo. Yeah, Dane Christopher, I have a feeling, You remember how in the first game against New Caledonia, that referee we got was him just said to himself, "I'm not card people today." Well, I have a feeling like this referee gonna be the opposite. I just feel so. So yeah, I think cards gonna play a role in this game. Whether it hurt us or them, that is what remains to be seen. But I think they don't let Aaron overlap. And when he does, the captain is very poor, especially now he's struggling with injuries. They have a few now. Where I drop above Marley and Christian Bruno, make them ball going home. Uzbekistan and Colombia are dead too. We are win Group K convincingly and ball them too. Yo, Ozzy, love your enthusiasm, Maji. I like the officiating in the last game. They allowed them to play. Jamaica was being roughed up by the other team. They weren't playing football. Yeah, man, the referee, but Gunners boss. The only thing I always say about referees, Gunners boss. If you want to let the game go and you don't call nothing, you don't give out cards, then just do that. If you want to beat every little thing you want to call foul and you want to be card happy, then be consistent and do that. But consistency for me is the thing, because all refs gonna have them different interpretations. But I just can't stand a ref where you see a 2-foot tackle and you give the man a talking to. Then you see a man pull a man down the next play and you give that one a yellow. Like, I not like them thing. Doku did cookware, yes, he did cookware a lot. Bless up Float, I go on the start line with line up, and big up Float, big up yourself as well. The members them are link up, the start line up will definitely determine how the game will go for Jamaica, in my opinion. If our mid doesn't play better, we are in trouble, says Dr. Dan. All right, so look, before we get into any heated debates or convos about anything else, the first thing we want to people is get up on screen the DR Congo squad list. All right, so this is just a list of the squad. We have Fayulu, Mpasi, and Apollo. Goalkeepers are Guardian. I don't know how to speak French, people. Forgive me, I'm a Spanish speaker. But the starter should be Mpasi. He has been starting for them pretty much throughout their World Cup campaign and in the AFCON as well. The other keeper that I think is one to watch would be Apollo. He is much younger, so he's probably the next in line or the deputy. But a very talented keeper. He's now keeping at Standard Liège in Belgium. And yeah, I think he's one to watch for the future. Not quite broken through as the first choice. Well, actually, that's not true. Yeah, so he has broken through now as the first choice for Standard Liège. And like I said, he is the second choice in the rankings right now. And Fayulu also playing in Armenia at FC Noah. He's a third string. Then we'll go to Defensors or Defensio. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm just going to take a crack at it, the French. I need my wife to come and read this. Wan Bissaka, obviously you would know him. He plays for West Ham United, formerly of Manchester United. Ngakia plays at Watford in the Championship. Kayembe, he's at Genk in Belgium in the Pro League. Masuaku, of course, formerly of West Ham, is on loan now, though, at RC Lens, doing well in the French League right now. Kapwadi is in Poland. Bushiri is in the Scottish Premiership at Hibernian. Twanzebe, you know him from the Premier League this year, came up with Burnley. He plays centre back, usually the starting partner of the captain, Chancel Mbemba, who's at Lille in France. Spent years at Marseille before that, coming to the end of his career, of course, past his 30th birthday now, but still a very quality player. Very, very dangerous on set pieces, attacking wise as well. Batu Binsika, he is in Greece, playing in the top league over there. He's a centre back as well. Then we move into the midfielders. You have Noah Sadiki. He's one of the key players, I would say, for them. Sunderland in the Premier League pretty much starts week in, week out for them. Mutosami, he's the engine room in that midfield. He's over in Greece, top player. I think when he's playing for his club, plays a slightly different role than he does for the national team, but does either role well. We're going to talk about him tonight. Kayembe, he's at Watford in the Championship. Mukau, he is probably the most exciting prospect in this whole entire squad for me. Him and Sadiki, to be fair, but Mukau, I think, is still a big move away. He's at Lille in France, only 21 years of age, doing very well this season, and does really well for the national team as well. Charles Piquel, he's over there in La Liga at Espanyol, defensive midfielder. Mbuku at Montpellier in France. Sepenga plays in the second division in Spain for Castellon. Grady Diangana, who you might know from England, English League. He used to play at West Brom, I believe it was. He's now over in Spain at Elche. Then you have Mishak Elia, very dangerous forward / wide forward, playing for Allianzspor right now in Turkey. Theo Banganda, very talented winger / attacking midfielder, Spartak Moscow, playing in Russia. Then you have Maele playing for Pyramids in Egypt, top team over there. You have Bakambu. Heard somebody in the comment section, I think it was Ozzy, saying that he rates this ball at Real Betis, formerly of Villarreal as well, playing in La Liga. Then you have Banza playing in the UAE for Al Jazeera. Then you have Johan Wissa, of course, formerly of Brentford, now Newcastle United in the Premier League. Sebastian De Sabre is the manager. So that is pretty much the squad that was selected for this World Cup playoffs. The squad, as you can see, littered with players playing in the top 10 leagues in the world. Going down to maybe the top 20 or so for the most part, when you have to include the likes of the Turkish league and the Greek league. But yeah, definitely all these players, as you said, they're littering all over the world. Very good leagues, very good leagues. Let me check back in with the comment section real quick. This is known facts. DR Congo tend to struggle with team who score first. They panic, and DR isn't a high-scoring team like Jamaica. Well, Jamaica is not a high-scoring team, mostly. So I don't know where you're getting that from. And if I recall, the way how they got here, Jermaine Blake, they got scored on by Nigeria in like the third, fourth minute of the game. So yeah, I mean, in the most recent history, they have proven not to panic after they got scored on. So, like, this is why it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show tonight. Like, I don't want to do this for people to be afraid, but I just want people to just know the truth, right? Because so many people like Jermaine out there just every night saying things, and some people would tend to believe them. So I'm telling you not to believe Jermaine. I'm just telling you to stay tuned. So that, because all I'm gonna do is show you what the players are doing, and you can form your own opinions from that. All right. Aaron is a good 1v1 defender. I don't see who's going to beat him on a regular. He's not the best going forward, though. Yeah, I think Dr. Dan, I think he has improved a lot since he's been at West Ham in attacking. I remember when he was at Man U, that would probably be correct. But I think he's become much better going forward since he's gone to West Ham. We'll go far in a World Cup this year and take a podium. Third place. Enough contract for Tyree, Cephas, and Webster. We light up World Cup this year with Leon Bailey Ballon d'Or performance. Yo, Ozzy, as I said, love your optimism. Also, these players know each other. They played together for a while now, DR Congo. That is, yeah, that is true. Yes, sir, sarcasm. Big up, Bishop. Yeah, man, I can understand Spanish pretty clearly. I don't speak it as fluently as I used to. So I'm definitely a much better listener of Spanish than speaker. But I definitely can hold my own with around Spanish. Like it's not like I would be lost if people start talking Spanish around me. So who said they don't have good players? Most of their players are top leagues teams. Yeah, people downplaying it, I think. And I think that the other argument lately has been that a lot of the players they called are injured. So that's another thing I want to just kind of put on screen and show and say, okay, you guys tell me, would this qualify as being injured or what you guys think? Yo, 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 yo. Wait, say finally. Yeah, I never have that much time for do a show every single day, but don't know the thing. When I have time. Big up baller in a building. Yeah, I deal with my G. Yeah, man, I've been doing some research, baller. So we're there. Jamaica is not a high scoring team. DR Congo isn't either, but DR Congo is more defensively sound than us. The amount of time King run left him position, I thought he was a striker at times, and Latte had to cover for him, but can't play that against a team like DR Congo. Facts. Sure, he can, but I don't know if it will be successful. Taking on one Bissaka, Tyrese Campbell can do it. Yes, them name the Leopards, you know. If our midfield doesn't fix up, we will be in trouble. So Dr. Dan said, listen, man, all the other things are irrelevant. As they are forward for war. Nobody war with each other, Azzy and Joseph, man. Just sit down in a class and we can hold a reasoning. All right, so the first thing people want to do is want to let you know. We know that Jamaica has, and we know that, all right, so we've heard this a lot. The ball game not play on paper. You know, it's not about the paper, right? It's about the game on the field. It's about the game on the field and how them play on the day. You can have a million baller where worth all this money, no matter if you know run on the field, but at the same time, people you cannot disregard it. So we know that Jamaica going into these playoffs have a total market value of about 53, 54 million, right? So when you look at DR Congo's team that has been selected for these playoffs, you see that their total value is at 153 million, 153.4 million, and that's in euros. So at almost $100 million or euros more of players on this Congo roster. And again, it's not the end all be all when I say that mean we're gonna lose 55-0. I'm just saying it's on screen, it's a fact, right? They have a more valuable team. Yeah, as you see, they have a squad of 26, right? Currently, I think they're. I don't know if that's fully up to date. Let me check something real quick. I think they did move from 48. You know. Just checking the rankings real quick, people. Give me a second. I looked today, but I just want to refresh my memory. Okay, so they are at 48, and Jamaica is at 70 minus 1. All right, so they're at 48. Actually, 3 times our value, Dr. Dan. 53. I mean, a little less than 3 times. Because we're at 53, they're at 153. Dwight Spence, big up yourself, says DR Congo is a top quality international side. Will be a close game for sure, but I think if Jamaica is fully locked in, then we can get a 1-0 win at least. That would be quite hilarious, Romy and Francis, if we got 2 Bob Marley wins with the whole Bob Marley Foundation jersey initiative that just dropped. You know? Ball dead with laugh. Yeah, man, reasoning with man. No bother war. Midfield fix, man. Well balanced squad, says Rob Smith. Blake will be the key. Big up, Rob. Blake will be the key because Congo will get chances. Wing backs will be running all night, says Dane. All right, Dane said Blake will be a key. Positive attitude and positive body language needed for 120 plus minutes. So Dwight Spence say, yo, this game going extra time. I'm telling you that no, you can book it now. 2 times our value. As I said, three. Basically, their fans are too overconfident. Need Jamaica to silence these people. Well, Romain, I was talking to some people earlier and I said, listen, a lot of times, I hear that the content creators from Jamaica too harsh on the team and the players them need more encouragement. Well, don't watch the Jamaican content creators today. Just just go to IG, TikTok, anyway, and type in Jamaica versus Congo. I see all the Congo content creators. I laugh after we. I say how it's gonna be soup and easy and all these things. So yeah, man. If you don't want motivation, just go and watch the Congolese content creator. Them we must practice penalties for at least 30 minutes every training session in the lead up. Yeah, so Dwight said, listen, not only must we be prepared for the 120 plus, but penalties are coming as well. So Dwight wants everyone to have a heart attack during the game. Watch the comfort on the ball, Jason. Tyrese, I ring up all comers. Leon Ballandor Bailey, 2. Plus Sifa scintillating. Me not see too much players. We're going to stop them 3. So as you have the formula, Bailey, Tyrese, and Cephas. All right. Jamaica will lose, says the Moy Gale. And that's in all caps. And they'll get 3-0 as well. So the Moy Gale, I was going to say, are you Congolese? But boy, the Moy Gale, I'm pretty sure you're Jamaican. They stopped Nigeria from making it to the World Cup. DR Congo is not a bad team. If they were in our region, they would have qualified easily. You all will see that the captain is the weak link in the back line, especially the ball over the top. All right, so Jermaine is sticking to the point that Mbemba is a liability. Yes, I figured you were the Moy Gale. Why are people calling for Bailey to be benched though? We need a big performance from him on Tuesday. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a lot tomorrow in the preview show. The conundrum that is Leon Bailey, But Jamaica is not a good team, bro. They seem to forget that not everybody can be selling cuckoo juice to the fan. I want to see what Hall does, though. Give him some minutes. Yeah, I was surprised he didn't come on, and Casey as well. But it's gonna be interesting tomorrow. But let's try for one little part of the show to just give the people them and the Congo team them time. So first thing we want to do is look on the goalkeeper. Like I said, 153 million is no joke. But let's look at the goalkeeper. And the reason I want to look at Mpasi in particular is because I believe he will be the one to start the game. Like I said, he's been the starter all throughout this campaign. So I don't see them changing that now. He's at 25 caps for the national team. But what I really want to analyze is what he's been doing in Liga. Now, he is probably one of the players that Jamaican fans who are very optimistic about this game would look and say, yes, their goalkeeper not playing a lot of minutes. And it's actually true, people. As you can see, he plays for Le Havre, right, in Liga, and he has been on the bench pretty much from the start of the season right through basically he had 4 appearances, 3 in a row from January 18, 24, and 30th. Then he had 1 game where he was back on the bench, and then he played 45 minutes and had to come off. Or did he come on in this one? Okay, so yeah, so he had to come on at halftime in this one. And that's his 4 appearances in the league all season. So he has not been a player or a goalkeeper that has been playing all season. Did not appear in the Coupe de France when they got knocked out. He was called up to the AFCON at that time. As you can see, he was a French youth international before making the switch, made his debut in 2022. So looks like he was one that maybe still harbored thoughts of getting a chance in the French national team up until 2022. But definitely at 31 years of age, don't see him losing out his spot anytime soon if he can stay healthy, because clearly they don't have much issue with the fact that and it's been kind of like this for a little while now at club level. Last season, when they were in League Two before they got promoted, he was starting for a large chunk of the season, and then they brought another goalkeeper in the January window, and he ended up losing his place for the most part. So none of that has stopped him from losing his place in the DR Congo team, and I don't see that to change now. Like I said, the other player that I would have to look at and say he's like the heir apparent, even though Faulu is older. I do think that Apollo, just based on his pedigree, based on his market value, he would be the one that would be next in line. He's born in Belgium, and he also would have played the youth level for Belgium. They just got him over the line in 2025 in December. They did give him a run out there in the AFCON in one of their group stage games, I believe it was. But he is a player that definitely is a starter for his club. And, I have seen some places, some publications saying maybe, this guy could take over the rankings now. As you can see, very well respected. He's already captain in his team, at the moment, and had a little ankle injury leading up to this window, but came back to play one fixture before international break against Westerlo. So definitely DR Congo. I have seen some places saying, yeah, maybe give the young man, but like I said, with this being a do or die game, I don't really see them giving him the reins in this game. So Mpasi, pretty much good to go, I would say, for this one. Now, let's move into the two center backs who I think will be starting. Now, as you can see, transfer market themselves have Axel Twanzebe with an injured symbol. Now, this defender, obviously, a player that if you follow the English leagues, you probably would know him from his time at Manchester United. Um, he went and played a season over in Napoli. He was at Stoke, Ipswich last in the Premier League, and then now he joined Burnley on a free. So he has kind of had a resurgence at Burnley, to be honest. Joining them at the start of the season, basically a player that would have had Premier League experience, and he has come to Burnley and done a really good job. Barring some injury issues that he's had to deal with. But when he's played, he's done really well. Excuse me. He's played 11 matches in the Premier League, over 900 minutes, 930 to be exact, has one goal, and had a long stretch of playing once he got back from injury in the start of the season. Pretty much October and November he would have played. Then he went over to the AFCON, came back and played some more games, got injured in this 3-0 loss to Sunderland back on February 2nd, and he has not been seen in the Premier League since. Now, interestingly, the other day, I was able to see on Twitter or X the team sheet for the Bermuda friendly that they would have just played. And Axel Twanzebe was one of the players that was on that starting lineup. And I really feel like that was mainly due to the fact that that friendly game, I thought, based on the team sheet I saw, it was mainly players starting that game for them that perhaps weren't getting that much game time for their clubs. And I think that that's something that the coaching staff, the technical staff would know is a concern for some of the players. And so, a player like Twanzebe, player like Wissa, who's played in the game as well, these players would need to get some reps and some match fitness in to try to help them out. When you look at that starting lineup, which I'm looking at now, Mpase started, Bayeye, Kapuadi, Twanzebe, Masuaku, Charles Pickell, Kayembe, Grady Diangana, Elia Mishak, Johan Wissa, and Fiston Maele. They all started that game. And, these are players that could very well feature. A lot of those names will probably feature against Jamaica tomorrow. Whether some of them start or not is another question. But definitely, as I go through this, you'll start to see why the coach would have started a starting 11 like this. Mpasi, again, even though he's their starting goalkeeper, he doesn't get that much game time at Le Havre recently. So they would want him to get some reps in a game before this crucial game. Twanzebe been out since February, as I'm showing you. But he clearly is fit enough to be called up and play because they used him in that friendly. And as long as he gets through that game, fine. I do not see the coach going away from the pairing that has gotten him all the way here. So yeah, that for me is something that you can look to. I think that they use that Bermuda game, like I said, to try to sharpen up some of these players, get some minutes in the legs of some of these players, and definitely, um, try to recreate a game atmosphere. Obviously, it's a friendly. It's not going to compare to what Jamaica would have gone to with New Caledonia. Even though New Caledonia is ranked what they're ranked, nobody can say that the intensity of that game wasn't up. New Caledonia definitely was going for it, and it forced us to have to do the same. So I think in terms of being mentally prepared, I would say we must have the advantage there just because you can't recreate that feeling against in a friendly versus Bermuda like what we would have gone through with New Caledonia. Now moving on to Chancellor Mbemba, 31 years of age now. Like I said, I would have known this player from before, from Marseille, especially his time at Marseille. Did spend some time at Newcastle as well. People might not remember that, but I think that was around the time when Newcastle was kind of up and down between the championship, I want to say. Was before they kind of stabilized and came back to the Prem. So yeah, or maybe he just wasn't getting as much chance there. I'm not sure, but I remember him from Marseille for sure, and Porto as well. So yeah, but he's now at Lille, joined right before, basically at the start of towards the end of the transfer window. Right there in the start of September. But he's the most capped player, I believe, in the squad with 103 caps, making his debut all the way back 2012, and he's actually born in Kinshasa, right? So definitely a legend of the DR Congo national team, over 100 caps. And what better way to close out his career than to lead his team into a World Cup? But why we are really looking at him so much now is because we want to know how much are you playing, Mr. Mbemba. So at 2.5 million, still at 31 years of age, that should let you know the quality of the player. Played 12 times or made 12 appearances in Ligue 1, 862 minutes. Also made 8 appearances in the Europa League. So he has that to kind of supplement his game time for the season. So you see in the Europa League, pretty much a nailed on starter all the way until they would have got knocked out by Aston Villa. And then you see he has played that friendly against Zambia, December 2025. He played what? 45 minutes. That would have been right before the AFCON. Liga, as you can see, not as much of a staple in the team. A lot of games just on the bench. Did make an appearance against Marseille, his former team, for 1 minute off the bench. But, kind of up and down, sporadic game time in the league. Didn't play in the Coupe de France either this season. So, Mbemba definitely on the downside, has had his struggles with injuries over the years. When you look at his injury history, it's not very good reading. These are all the injuries that he would have amassed over the years: knee injury, ankle injury, knee injury. I guess the only good thing really in terms of the time that his injuries keep him out for, it's never really that long, apart from early in his career, 62 days, 47 days. That's a pretty extended time out. But normally it's just some niggles that he would be going through. So not really an injury prone player, but definitely maybe when he gets knocks nowadays, it causes him have to not play for a couple games or what have you. But when it comes on to playing for Congo, he's definitely always a rock. If you look at his appearances for Congo, 103 of them, just look at the most recent times from 24, 25, look at that. Consistently playing 90, 90, 90, 90 every minute. Any game that means something, not a friendly, you can bet that he's in there. You wouldn't play this because that's like the local teams, right? But look, anything World Cup qualifying, African Cup of Nation qualifying, World Cup, Afghan themselves, this man plays every minute of every game. So definitely a leader for them. Consistent performer. And like I said, when they get set pieces, we're gonna have to ensure that we locate him because he's dangerous on those set pieces in an attacking sense, but not the most minutes from either centre back. One because of injury more than so, but the other one just because he's just not first choice at his team right now in his position. So he's just getting the game time when he can, when people are out. But Mbemba don't. I think he's just one of those guys. Kind of Mbemba to me is like their Pinnock in terms of, we've seen Pinnock maybe lose his game time at Brentford, but when he puts on the Jamaica jersey in a game that truly matters, you're gonna get a 7 out of 10. That's kind of what I see from Mbemba when he plays for the national team as well. Has his flaws, maybe lost a step from one time, but his experience, his overall quality, they kind of make up for it when he puts on a national jersey. So, Mbemba definitely somebody we're gonna have to look out for. Now, most of the other players that are here, like Kapuadi, Bushiri, these other three centre backs chosen, I don't really see any of them challenging for the starting place. Now, if Twanzebe isn't fit enough to play, I think it's gonna be mainly down to Kapuadi or Bushiri to get the nod, and I would probably be leaning towards Kapuadi. He plays for Witsu Lodz in the Polish first tier, and he has a market value of 2.5 mil. He was born in France, made his debut last year in June, and he has made 2 appearances now. Yeah, he plays centre back as well and has pretty much started most games that he's been available for. Did make the move, didn't start right away after making the move, but pretty much by the 4th game, got a starting role and has been holding it down ever since. These games he would have missed probably due to the Afghan time. Yeah, this one I'm not sure why he would have missed in February, but yeah, he definitely, is a starter for the team for sure, in the Polish first division. So I would say if there's issues with Twanzebe, I could easily see Capuare being the one to replace him. And then the other 2 centre backs chosen, one plays in the Scottish and one plays where is this? Oh yeah, this is in Greece. This is in Greece, Larissa. Yeah, all right. Moving on now to another position, and that is left back. So Masuaku and Kayembe, I think, are the 2 choices for them. As you can see, both the other side of 30, but both quality players. Kayembe playing in the Pro League for Genk. He has had a good season so far, pretty much a starter for the squad. And let me make sure I show all competitions. People, forgive me if you're commenting in the comment section. I just want to get through the information real quick and then we can go back to the comments. So yeah, played Europa League quite a bit this year, made 9 appearances. They did get knocked out by Freiburg, had a rough time in their away leg, losing 5-1, but he played a prominent role in those games. Did miss a few games due to injury, and as you can see, that kept him out of the squad, but he was called up to the national team for the AFCON just the same. And then since he has pretty much been playing every game, 90 minutes, if not, most of the game at left back. Has made 1 appearance at centre back in a 3, but really and truly he is a left back in a 4. So it's going to be a competition between him and Masuaku. Now the thing that Kayembe has over him is, as I'm about to show you, Masuaku hasn't had the easiest time getting minutes at his clubs he's been at this season. Of course, he started out the season and is still owned by West Ham United. Sorry, by Sunderland. My bad. But he did make a loan move to launch, and that will be for the rest of this current season. Um, but Masuaku is a seasoned campaigner, up to 32 years of age now. But this season, as I said, has been a bit of a struggle for him when it comes down to getting game time. So when you look at it, he's only made six appearances in total for 201 minutes all season. And that's probably a reason why when the game was played against Bermuda, he was one of the ones that started and got a lot of minutes. But it's not looking good as far as that for him. But he is a season campaigner for the national team, playing 42 times, scoring 4 goals. And when you look at it, when you look at the most recent tournaments, the World Cup qualifiers, he has been the one getting the nod over Kayembe until he got injured in the AFCON and couldn't play the last 2 games they played. But is it a case of Kayembe being the man now? As you can see, he played the entire game versus Nigeria, right? Starting both games in the AFCON, and played this game against Bermuda. I think trying to get him up to speed to start. I think, like I said, the coach, I just have this feeling like he's gonna kind of reward the ones that he's been leaning on. When you look at Kayembe, he's not quite as experienced with the national team. But he did take over the reins as soon as Masuaku wasn't playing. So, there's that. And it's been either or, man. It's gonna be a tough decision for the coach. I don't know which one he's gonna go with. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, probably one of the better known players in this team at West Ham currently. 31 possible games and he's played 22. Of course, 5 of those would have been AFCON omissions. But as you can see, once he returned from AFCON back in the lineup and playing each and every game just about, he's made 9 appearances now after making his debut just back in September of 2025. So that is an interesting one. But yeah, for years they had been, trying to get him. As you can see, played for the DR Congo U17s, but didn't play again internationally until England U20s and 21s. But could never quite break into the full national team and decided to go ahead and pledge his future to national team of DR Congo. Played 2 FA Cup games as well. Okay, that's what I've seen. But Wan-Bissaka, not one of those that you have to worry about lacking match fitness. He's definitely up there. Jeremy Ngakia, he will be the other right back option in this team. Don't expect to see him play unless Wan-Bissaka gets injured. I think Wan-Bissaka will be a player that, if it does go the full 120, he will play the full 120. All right, so Mukau, this one is to me one of the more exciting names in the team. Only 21 years of age, born in Antwerp in Belgium. And he represents the DR Congo, of course. He has 11 caps. And he's definitely one of the players that is getting a good amount of minutes in a top 5 league. Not starting regularly, but at the same time, definitely a key part of the team. Basically, 23 appearances on the season. And the interesting thing is, did he go to AFCON? I think he did, I think he did. But yeah, he's been in a team that's been doing pretty good this season. I think Lille is like in 5th right now. Had a good win this right before the break over Marseille, which he participated in and played the whole game. Um, but yeah, after scoring in the first goal of the season, in the first game of the season, he hasn't scored again since. Can play anywhere in the midfield from DM to CM. Can play off the right as well. Just very versatile in that midfield, and I think a player that in a few years' time probably will be at an even bigger club in a top five league. He's like I said, he's made 11 appearances so far for the Leopards. Yeah, he did go to the AFCON, of course. All right. And he's pretty much kind of forced his way into the starting lineup of late of the manager. We'll see if that continues in this one or he leans a little more on experience. It's going to be an interesting decision for the coach as far as he's concerned, but definitely a player I think people might not know that much about before this game. But I think once the game is played, people are going to start to talk about him some more. Piquel, definitely player in La Liga, so quality. He's actually born in Switzerland, and he's up to 32 caps now for the Democratic Republic of Congo. He spent a lot of years in this team, starting, and I think with some of the newer players coming in, he's kind of had to, find a different role, playing, more often than not coming off the bench as a player to just shore up the midfield. Um, Still gets his starts here and there, but for the most part, he's a bench player now. And at just 28 years of age, that just shows you, you know, what this team is all about. I mean, this guy plays for a club in a top five league, and he's not a nailed down starter for the national team in midfield. So that just goes to show. This season, he's made 17 appearances and two in the league or in the Copa del Rey, sorry. Um, and even for his club this season, he's had to be reserved to a much more, substitute type of role in the team. Started both of the Copa del Rey games, which is probably not the best sign in the world. Because if you start in the Copa del Rey game, especially first and second round, more than likely you're not a starter in La Liga. So Piquel is probably going to have a role similar to what he's doing in La Liga right now, which is off the bench. So that is Charles Piquel. Then Noah Sadiki, everybody should know him. His market value is gone up to 30 million now, so it's just rising, rising, rising by the month. He's a player that starts a lot for his team. 31 possible games, and he's played 26. And I think that makes perfect sense because all those who went to the AFCON missed 5 games. So there's your 5 games he would have missed right there. So durability, top notch. Playing time, top notch. I mean, out of all the players in this game, between both sides, he might have the most minutes out of everybody. Honestly. I mean, he's up there at about 2,300 minutes for the season already. That's just in the Prem. So I think that's the only time he's played, though. He hasn't played in the cup games. But yeah, 26 games, almost 2,300 minutes. So no joke. Sadiki is ready, people. All right, so that's Sadiki. Kayembe is another midfield option. He plays at Watford. He'll probably more than likely be off the bench. But he's made 32 appearances out of 39 in the championship, scoring 4 goals and an assist. But like I said, he more than likely will be a player playing a supporting role. Now, Mutasami, this is the player that might not be as decorated as Charles Piquel, but definitely when it comes on to this national team, he's a player that the coach heavily relies on. So Mutasami, he's made 55 appearances for the Leopards, and if you look at his history, ever since the AFCON of 2024, he's been pretty much a player. Well, actually, ever since the AFCON qualification for the 2024 version of this competition, he has been pretty much a mainstay from here on out, from 22 right through, 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. Very rarely does he come off the field even. He just plays the entire game. He did come off in the Algeria game after 110. I was probably trying to bring on a striker or something to get a goal. But yeah, Mutasami is a player that a lot of our fans that follow the players and who we're going to play religiously, they reach out to me and say, "Hey Jay, you know that Mutasami got injured, right?" So I say, "Yeah." So I went and did some research and read up some blogs and things from the club because he's over there in Greece. And and they were basically saying it was some kind of knock he picked up towards the end of the game. And the game in question is I think, was it this? I think it was this game. Or was it this one? No, it was the one before this. Yeah, it was this game right here. So this substitution right here in the 90th minute, when he came off, that's when he picked up a little knock. And that would have been, what, basically a couple weeks before the international window. So, fans started to worry on the Congolese side, and Jamaican fans who follow these things got kind of excited. But I knew once they named him in the squad, more than likely, um, once they named him in the squad, more than likely he was going to be fit enough to play. He's just one of those warrior type players that if he's even can stand up at all, he's probably going to play. Now, interestingly though, I don't know what to read into this, but with him being a player that maybe was kind of close to having an injury, based on the players I saw the coach play against Bermuda, you would think Mutusam would be one of those that you would want to give a run out and say, okay, what is your fitness level looking like before this game? But he didn't play. So what you read into that? Is it that he's still he just needs a little more time to be able to even play? Is it that Charles Piquel will play in that DM role and not Mutusame from the start? That's one thing to watch again for the roles in terms of the team. And what's interesting is, he kind of plays a little bit higher up the park for his club team. Plays more of a CM role. You know, Sometimes they play with a double pivot. Other times they play him a bit higher. And even if he plays here as a pivot, he definitely has a lot more freedom in the system at his club. I think that's why you see him, getting involved in goals more for his club than necessarily for the national team. Um, he's had 55 caps and no goals, played 21 games and 3 goals at the for his club. So he's in a good league. The Greek Super League is a good level, and he's definitely a player in that midfield that is just a non-stop engine, and one of the leaders of that team. Now, Mishak Elia, he's another one that has been playing for the national team for a while. 64 caps now, born in Kinshasa as well, and he is now playing in Turkey. But you see, not the starts aren't the best, the minutes aren't the best. Made 18 appearances out of a possible 24, and no goals and no assists. So not doing the best as far as stats. Just at about 500 minutes, he's another player that did get the chance to play in the game versus did get a chance to start in the game versus Bermuda. Let me see. Yeah, Mishak did start. So it says here, you see how you can't trust things, people. So I'm looking at the team sheet from so I'm looking at the team sheet, and Elia did start. And basically this is saying that he had edema in the knee and he didn't start. So if you work with some information, it will lead you astray. This is saying that he didn't play. So Jamaica, I did the research for you. If you're working with Transfermarkt to see who played that game, it's not going to tell you. But I did find it on a Twitter page what the starting lineup was, and Elia did play. So he's fit enough to play in this game. They're probably going to see how his knee reacts from that, and if it reacts well, I expect the veteran Elia to play in this game from the start more than likely. He, as it shows here, he's had a few starts here and there, but definitely, not having the type of performance that he would love to have. Did not, wasn't fit enough to even make the bench in this one. And I think transfer market just working off of that to say the edema was still kicking in for this Bermuda game, which it wasn't. So, he's one of the players that I think Jamaica fans would look at his season and say, yeah, even though their players are playing places, some of them not really playing like that, and Elia is one of those guys that they probably would level that to. But Elia is a player that similar to Mbemba, similar to the Pinox, they just turn up for the national team, and he's still definitely a threat. Strong, fast, and good technical ability as well. Mbuku, the youngster born in France, he's 24 years of age, playing for Montpellier in League Two. He has 16 caps now with 2 goals. And he's been playing a lot in League Two, 25 appearances, 3 goals, 6 assists. So he's having a good run. I think he was, I want to say he was like the first sub in their last game at AFCON that they played. So definitely somebody that's knocking on the door. Maybe if Elia can't go, he could be an option to start. But I think the coach likes him as a off the bench option. Sipenga, he's playing at Castellon, I believe, yep, in the Liga, in the Segunda Division in Spain. Don't expect him to feature. Maybe he's a third option at best as of the moment. But if he does come on, that still be a quality player. Theo Banganda, a player that has been at a higher market value before, definitely was a huge prospect in the Belgian game, but decided to play his international career in for the DR Congo. Now, he's not having the best of times in Russia. Out of a possible 22 games, he's only made 4 appearances. Let's look at everything. All comps. Only 6 appearances overall. 110 minutes in the league. Again, another player that I was surprised not to see in the starting lineup against Bermuda, just due to the fact that he might need the minutes, but he did make 1 appearance on March the 14th for 19 minutes. Did not make an appearance because he wasn't in the squad on the 22nd. I wonder if he had just asked to go ahead and join up with the national team. I'm not sure. But definitely, a player that even when he's not injured, has spent way too many games on the bench and not playing this season. But Banganda, He's a player that this coach really likes, the national coach that is. And he's made 36 appearances. And I think all of his appearances have been under the current coach. So actually, no, Hector Cooper gave him his debut, but Cooper wasn't there much longer after that. But Banganda has done pretty good for them, of course. 7 goals, 3 assists, 36 appearances, not the worst returns for a wide player internationally. And he's been pretty much starting most of the games more recently, usually gets substituted off. But what's going to be interesting is he's played a lot of times on the right, can operate off the left as well, but the coach seems to like his skill set on that right hand side. I think it's because he does tend to like to drift, and on that right hand side they do have one Bissaka now, so yeah, it kind of makes sense to have him be a little bit more of a retention player that wants to link up and a necessarily a take on player. He can take you on as well. But yeah, it makes sense that Wan Bissaka would make a good partner for him on that side. Grady Diangana, like I said, you might remember him from his days in the English leagues. He was at West Brom for long stretches. Come through the West Ham Academy, but now he's made the move to Elche on a free, and he made that move before the start of this season. But this year, playing in La Liga, he's made 17 appearances, 1 goal to his name, starting about little less than half of the games so far this season. But let's just take a look at his overall numbers. Diangana is a player that started the game against Bermuda, and it looks like this coach liked to use Diangana as one of his midfielders more than necessarily a wide player. But for Mallorca, he's been in and out at the starting lineup, but definitely in the coach's mind because he's played most of the games when he's been around. Um, and he should be fit enough. He has 8 caps now for the national team, making his debut in 2023 in October. Um, but that is Grady Diangana. Now we move on to Johan Wissa. I think he's the joint highest market value in the team at 30 million. 29 years of age now. Just made a big move in the summer from Brentford to Newcastle for a total fee of 57.7 million euros. Pretty consistent goal scorer in the Premier League until he got to Newcastle, where he's finding life difficult. Had some injury problems. Now he's back fit, but can't break his way into the starting 11 for Eddie Howe, or at times not even into the thinking for Eddie Howe. Made some Champions League appearances, had a long-term knee injury, came back in December. And when he came back, he was making mainly sub appearances, a couple of starts here and there. Um, and then he got into this thing where he's on the bench, not getting games. So he's been sporadic with the minutes in the last, I would say, 2 months. He hasn't really had the most minutes, but still a dangerous player for sure. I think he did start the 2 EFL Cup semi-final games. One in January, one in February, but that seems so long ago. He has made 35 appearances for DR Congo, so one of the more prolific players for them. He was French born, was never really looked at for the French youth teams, but after making his debut in 2020, he wasn't in the squad for a long period of time. And then once qualification started for the 2026 World Cup, I believe that is, yeah. Um, he was pretty much in the fray and stayed around the team for the most part. unless he had the injuries or anything like that. And 2024 is really when that would have started happening. Ended up having to miss the last two windows of the World Cup qualification with a knee injury, and then didn't get called into the Copa Nation squad, had just kind of returned and didn't want to take him there. And who knows, maybe not taking him there, giving him that rest might pay dividends for them in this window. But we say somebody that's not going to rely on match fitness, so to speak, to get the job done. He's just going to have to trust his quality. Banza, worth 11 million, but he hasn't really been featuring as much for the national team. He's made 14 appearances since 2023, but I don't even know if he's second choice. He's made 11 appearances, 7 goals, 1 assist, so doing well at club level, but it's the UAE Pro League. Fiston Maele is in Egypt at Pyramids, and they just started their 20 games, so he's playing a lot over there. He's played Champions League as well, 4 goals there. Super Cup, Confederation Super Cup, he scored in that. And the Intercontinental Cup, he scored 3 goals in 3 appearances. So he's been banging them in all over the place in the continental tournaments. Not as successful in his league campaign, but again, I think with the return of Wissa and Bakambu still there, who's the last person we're going to look at. He's 34 years of age, so definitely this is his last go. Another French born, and he did play all through the youth levels, prolific. Well, not prolific, but high number of appearances for the U19s and U20s. But he made his debut all the way back in 2015 when he was about 23. So yeah, he's been around for sure. He's up to 21 goals in 66. So definitely their talisman when it comes to their squad for these games. But let's look at how much he's been playing, people, because that's the most important part. How much is the man actually playing? So in the league, he's made 23 appearances, just over 1,000 minutes, 4 goals, 2 assists. Europa League, he also made a further 5 appearances, scoring 1 goal and had 2 assists there. But you see La Liga, most of his appearances, these are the minutes he would have played in the games off the bench, off the bench, off the bench, some not coming off the bench at all, leading into the AFCON. It's almost like they were punishing him for going away soon. When he came back from AFCON, though, got a start and, played a game, was on the bench for that game. Then next go around, he got a start, started against Vallecano, came off at halftime, and then he's been off the bench for the last 4 fixtures before the international window. Copa del Rey, he started off 3 of those games, and you know what I said earlier, if you start in Copa del Rey, typically you're not going to play much or not going to be a starter at least in La Liga. So does it matter though, people? Does it matter? Cedric Bakambu is just one of those players that turns up for his national team. As you can see, he's been around for a while now. Even before this manager would have been thought of as the manager, he's been playing. Don't know why this don't want to move, but in the meantime, I'm sure the comments have run, gone, leave me. But let me just go through. All right, let me just look at Bakambu one last thing. So, internationals. So this is his career from 2015 onwards. You see, pretty consistently playing and starting, coming off the bench every now and again, playing. We're into 2023 now. Then we get to AFCON. This was the AFCON before the most recent one. But they made it all the way to the semis. Then he had an injury, wasn't in the squad for a while in the AFCON qualifiers. Once World Cup came around, he was back in the squad. And then he had a good window in September, scoring 3 goals and having 2 assists. I think that window probably cemented in the coach's mind. All right, this is my striker going forward. It also helped Bakambu that throughout that period, Wissa was going through his injuries. So he's pretty much been the man that they've gone to. Was given the rest in the Bermuda game, didn't start that game. I think he might have gotten some minutes, but wasn't able to find the substitutes for that game, just the starting lineup. So not sure exactly, but I think Bakambu more than likely will be the starting striker. And I think one of the things that Bakambu does really well, not the biggest striker in the world, but very good in the air. And boy, does he run the channels like a madman. This man, if you look at his heat map, you can't tell if he play left wing or right wing, the way how the man will make runs to either side and collect the ball. Even the goal they scored against Nigeria, it kind of came from, his work rate, pulling out one of the center backs and then whipping it in to Elia, who had kind of vacated his starting position to get into the box. So um, look for Bakambu to do that, more of that in this one. He would like to have some of our central defenders isolated and can create from there. But yeah, that's just basically going through the entire squad. As you can see, a lot of the players playing in top leagues. Some of them getting the minutes, some of them getting the minutes, some of them kind of getting a lot of substitute appearances and things of that nature. But I just feel like we shouldn't put so much stock into that because the players themselves have been together for a long time, right? And you can look at a pattern of selection that definitely is something that can be admired and something that Jamaica should aspire to be more like as we move forward with these national teams, because you can see a clear core, a clear pattern, and it's the same manager, right? So they can afford to maybe play a few more players that aren't at the level of match fitness because they make up for it in their organization as a team and how they're so used to playing with each other, right? So so I just don't think we should put all of our eggs into the basket of who's playing more. And honestly, if we scrutinize our team who played or who's bound to play, are we getting the minutes that we would want out of our players that are playing overseas? I don't know that we are for the most part. So um, I hear people talking about this. I think the main concern that I see for Congo right now is how fit is Mutasami? Is he 100%? Because he's somebody that is a huge key part of that team. I think Piquel is quality, but I don't believe Piquel give you the same type of um I don't know, just something about Mutusami and his presence in there. He just seems a presence in there. Piquel is not a small dude, but I just think Mutusami give you something different. Um, so I think he would be a big miss if he's not fit. I think they're playing coy with him. I think he's gonna be fine. Um, Elia is one that is definitely been going through some things as well, but he did play the other night. And the other thing I think is, which left back do you trust? Do you trust Kayembe or do you trust Masuaku? Kayembe has the benefit of playing more minutes for his club. Masuaku has the benefit of being more experienced with Congo. So I just don't know which way the coach will go there. But for the most part, their players are playing. Some, like I said, not starting, but most of them getting quality enough minutes to where I think that they should be ready for a challenge like what they have to face. I watched the whole game Thursday and we float the ball in the air too much. All right, so this is from way before. So let me see if anybody was saying anything the players. People, please do smash up the like button. So we do have a few. So we do have some people from the Congo tuning in. I was watching was it I think it was JT show and he had a call in from the Congo, which was quite interesting. A very a very confident Congolese fan. Kept it respectful, but he was very confident. I could see that the passion that they have, is much like some of the passion that some of our fans have for sure. So yeah, it's always good to get the perspective of your opponent sometimes and hear how they're thinking and stuff. So kudos to JT for like encouraging that, you know. But I want to find back that. So Dwight always forwarding with some factual conversation. Same say De Sabre, who is the coach of Congo, emphasizes tactical discipline and collective organization, blending solid defensive structures with swift counter-attacking play. All right, so somebody asking me which team they use. So here is the team that I was able to see that they played Congo with. So it was Mpasi Baye, I would assume, played right back. Kapuade and Twanzebe played centre back. Masuaku left back. Pikel probably played CDM. And Kayembe and Diangana as the two eights. Diangana probably had a little bit more freedom. Then you have Mishak, Wissa, and Maele. I would think Wissa played off the left, Mishak off the right, or some variation of that, and Maele as the lone striker, more than likely. It could have been a 4-4-2 as well, with Diangana and Mishak as kind of the wider players, and then Wissa and Maele, or even Wissa wide. But I think it was the 4-3-3 or 4-1-4-1, however you want to put it on paper, probably something like that. So whoever asked the question about the team, I'll just keep that on the screen for you. That is the squad that they used to face Bermuda the other day. Some more info about the coach. His approach revolves around maximizing team cohesion and utilizing a dynamic midfield capable of quick recoveries and precise transitions. Yeah, so then there's the answer to your question right there. There's a whole heap of Congolese friends in your city, Jano. You can even go outside if we don't get the right result. I don't know what some of these people be watching when them favorite players are playing. Don't pre-results alone. Look on performance. Bailey totally was a run the ball game. Base skills, moves, feints, and shifts in a light up World Cup. Yo, as it one thing, boy. You're very people are laughing at you in the comment section. I won't laugh at you, brother, but come on, man. New Caledonia game was a semi, never easy at that time. Nerves, etc., come into play. We created chances, which was a good look. We kept possession, which was also good. Bailey C applied good pressure too. Yeah, I wish they would have helped him a bit more in that regard. You know, it seemed like he was pressing alone some of the time, which I couldn't understand. DJ Geek saying never see it, you know. Okay, here's Kevin. So Kevin, I'm assuming is from Congo. So big up yourself and welcome, Kevin. Talanitu says, congratulations. I see that you know very well our players and their history. Greetings from Congo. Yeah, man, Kevin, I'm a student of the game, and whenever Jamaica gonna play an opponent, I try to study the opponent. And some of the players from Congo, I didn't have to do much studying because I mean I watch football already, so I know some of them. But yeah, it's been interesting to kind of look into the history of your team and kind of see how they got here, because they have really been building what this culminates towards now. You know, I mean, it started, I think, in the 24 AFCON when people really started to take note because he made the semifinals and everything. But it kind of started before that. Pretty much once this coach came in, you could kind of see a shift. Some players that maybe were on the fence about committing, they committed, and yeah, man, it's been a good look since that. But shifts can't comfort dribbles him though. Near 100% complete passes, you know, say flick to Lati when the opponent foul him, shaking my head. we say, this is probably like a breath of fresh air tonight, though. Jaja. Our captain, Chancellor member, is very dangerous defender. He can score many goals, especially in corner as a former striker. He can't survive. Yeah, man, I spoke on that, Kevin. You know, how he's dangerous from set pieces, like very, very dangerous. Their attacking is much worse than ours. Their defenders are their strength, says Uptown 1G. DRC and Senegal have the best defenders in Africa. That's an interesting take. I'm trying to think of the other teams. Morocco has some good defenders too. Um, hmm. Nigeria has some decent defenders. But you might be right. I don't know though. So Kevin has a theory on why we have scored more goals in the World Cup campaign. And he said because we play weaker teams than in Africa. I think Kevin is actually correct there. I think on average overall, when you look at the teams throughout the Africa qualifying, the margins aren't quite as large as some of the games in CONCACAF. So as he said, no defense can stop a potent attack, you know. Yo, coach, what go on? Wan Bissaka has improved. He was trash at Man U, always losing the ball. He doesn't do well if he gets in his head, but much improved player now. Yeah, man, he's made a big turn in his abilities, especially on the ball. We have beaten teams ranked 10 to 25 in FIFA. You guys have not seen the best of Jamaica. All right, so he's telling Kevin to watch out. What is DR Congo preferred formation? Well, for the most part, they play a version of a 4-3-3, depending on like which app or whatever you look at. Some will have it as a 4-1-4-1, but honestly, I would like to say it's more a 4-3-3 because typically Mutasami is like a single pivot, and then he'll have two midfielders flanking him. Kind of similar to we've seen Jamaica do that sometimes when Hayden's a single pivot with like I say Bobby and Casey playing above him. Sometimes we see us do that when we play teams that we know we're gonna have the ball a lot against. I thought we were gonna do that against New Caledonia, but he went more for the double pivot role speed. But I think DR Congo, it's a 4-2-3-1 slash 4-3-3 because it depends on how the game is going. I've seen them kind of drop Sadiki a bit closer to Mutusami if they're having trouble building out. But it just depends on how the game is going. But I would say it's a 4-3-3. Yeah, so when you look at the manager, let's see. Yeah, I would say it's a 4-3-3. I could be 4-2-3-1, but I say 4-3-3. Bless up Tycoon, what go on? Tycoon said the football gods will send us to the World Cup. It's too close to home for us not being there. Get ready to celebrate. So Kevin said, I know we'll not play our best football the way that we control the midfield against Nigeria, but in the end of the day, we're gonna end your dream. So there's a decent convo. Them I wish each other good luck, but them still have them confidence, you know. They say can't predict based on rankings and salaries. As you stand firm with the 2-0, you know. Yo, I am worrying because the Congo team are good. Emmanuel, them good man. So Errol says Speed should play a 3-5-2 and we have a chance. Boy, I was thinking that, in my predicted, even for New Caledonia, I said play a 3 and they were cussing me because they're like, we don't need a 3 against Caledonia. I said it's not about having it against Caledonia, it's about playing with it so that you can practice it and use it against the better team after. But I don't think Speed, you know, I've seen him coach a lot of games, and it's usually a 4. Now, sometimes in the build-up phase, it looks like a 3 because one of the fullbacks will push up or invert, but it's a 4 on paper. So I don't see him changing it, but I don't think it's a bad idea either, Errol. But I would have, if I was gonna do it, I would have done it in the first game too. Yo, 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 yo. No, I was not able to see it. I was trying to reach out to a janitor at the Stadio. I think it was Stadio Jalisco, it was at or something like that in Guadalajara there. And yeah, the janitor couldn't get no footage neither and take all the people that were working their phone and everything. So the best I could do was find a starting 11 p.m. Abudi Adubane DC, big up yourself, says, I'm Nigerian, but wife is Jamaican, so I got big interest in this match. As the Congolese brother said, Congo is very strong defensively. Basically took our midfield. Yeah, that's one of the games I watched. Well, I watched it when it happened, but I also watched it again leading up to this game, and they did play. That was actually Congo played like one of the better games I've ever seen them play in that game. They really played well in that game. Iwobi's long pass and distribution was limited, and Niger couldn't find ways to link Osimhen in the first half or Lookman. Yeah, he got subbed off. I think isn't that the game? I think was he having some issues with fitness or something? Like that's why I think that's why he came off. He's a Nigerian team that's become more cohesive under manager Shell. Bless up Cygnus. Work at types, not too creative, but very cohesive and play quick combinations. Yeah. And I'm gonna wow you with what they do, but they're a great unit, I think. Bruno, I want to know your prediction. According to be a tough game, but Congo we're gonna beat our Jamaican bro, even if many of our players didn't get too much time in their club. Their attack isn't great. Bakambu was okay at AFCON. Wissa didn't play. They won many games 1-0 in World Cup qualifying and CAF World Cup CAF qualifying. They say Bakambu a baller for you. So Aberdeen going with an honest prediction of 1-0 DRC, but Jamaica can definitely win two with a creative moment. Cephas and Campbell need to be on their game for Jamaica. All right, so Aberdeen having people that him think have to be on point. Their finishing is not good. Bailey C needs to finish. Yeah. Bob Marley is his favorite artist. Like Peter Tosh, Muta Baruka, and Burning Spear. So Kevin is definitely a Rasta at heart. Yeah, man, Statue Man is there, bro. Statue Man is there. Lumumba himself. Big ups to my African brother them. We are uniting one Pan-Africanism despite the ball game. See? Now watch nothing. We are one blood. Ozzy, that might be a comment of the night, my G. What do you think is the score prediction on Tuesday? Boy, my early prediction on the it's Monday now. One night before the night. I think the game is gonna be a 1-1 game. And I think it's gonna go all the way to penalties. And Shukuru, I'd be a madman to try to predict the outcome of a penalty shootout. But let's just say it's gonna be highly entertaining. And people are gonna be on the edge of their seats, and one set of fans going to ball, and one set of fans going to pop champagne, you know? But yeah, I could see it going all the way till the end. I think Dwight Spence was onto something when he said we need to practice penalties for 30 minutes at training at least. I wonder who will benefit more from the familiarity between Wissa and Pinnock. Good question, Cygnus. Very good question, because they would have been going up against each other for a few seasons at Brentford. So yeah, I wonder what Pinnock has told his teammates about Wissa as well. Yeah, man, respect Kevin. And yeah, man, you should drop a subscription, man. I talk football other than just Jamaica as well. So if you like EPL, you like other leagues, I do content about all the leagues and stuff. So yeah, man, subscribe and you might you might like what you see down the road as well. Me now wish them good luck from what I'm hearing from their side to them. We're a joke team. Yeah, chess. Well, at least we know, say, there are some fans like Kevin where now really try disrespect with him. I say I'm gonna beat with, but him not disrespect with. So Kevin would like to know why we didn't call Mikel Antonio. Well, I don't have the direct answer, Kevin, to that, but all I can speculate is maybe the coach didn't think that his fitness level and what he has been able to do since his return to first team football has been enough. You have to remember that he recently secured a contract in the Qatar Stars League, and he's only made 2 appearances. Now, in his defense, those 2 appearances were 73 and 72 minutes of action in his league in Qatar. But again, with that being his only game time all season, besides 2 Premier League 2 fixtures way back in August, I just think it wasn't a risk that the coach was willing to take. Now, in hindsight, it looks like it might not be the best move, only because we have one recognized number 9 really in the squad, and Bailey Kadamachi, and Jamal Lowe is a number 9 that really and truly likes to play with another number 9. So if you're gonna play a system that truly suits Jamal Lowe, you'd be starting both of the number 9s you brought. Because I think Lowe is really better off in a front three as one of the wider players, honestly. Even though I think at this stage of his career, I think he's more comfortable centrally than he ever was, I still feel like he'd be his best version of a striker if he had a partner. So having Antonio as a third option, then it kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility to go 2 strikers if you want. But look, I think it had to do with the fitness. He only played 2 games since basically August, and they were the first 2 at his new club in Qatar. So yeah, I don't. It would have been a gamble to put him in there. But to be honest, Kevin, if they did put him in there, I wouldn't be as upset about it as I was when they put him in for the Gold Cup last summer before he had even kicked a ball anywhere. At least I saw him play 2 games where it didn't look like it was a struggle for him to run and change direction and anything like that. Obviously, he didn't look as explosive, which is kind of the worry for him, because his game is a lot about that explosion, that strength. And if he's compromised physically, maybe you don't get that version of an Antonio that you're thinking you're gonna get. But I don't know, man. They could have took the chance, to be honest, because it's 1-1 late in the game and you bring on an Antonio. Just his presence alone could cause some anxiety. You know what I mean? So you never know. Yeah, he just signed. As long as Bobby Reed not taking the penalty, we good. Bless up Lamar. What go on? We say early rise for you. My wife is from Jamaica, but I am sorry. DRC 4-1. We will show you that beating Cameroon and Nigeria is not a piece of cake. All right, Junior. Big up yourself. Pristine said Jamaica 2-1. Big up Pristine. Respect again for the membership in my G. Yeah, man. Pristine, one of the true warrior them from early. And people, respect for the subs as well. And about 26 of you subbing to the video tonight, so greatly appreciate that. Let us know. Where's the chess? We never lose to them team. They either get your facts straight. All right, people. All right, so we have about 15 more minutes left to go. So before we head out of the building, let me let's see. So we talked about the team, we talked about the injuries, the club form, we answered the question on the formation. Tomorrow, like I said, people, we're gonna have a full tactical preview, the Jason Gooner TV way, where we have the teams loaded up in the tactical preview or in the tactical pad, sorry, and we'll put our predicted 11s on the team on the screen with formations, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the tactics that we're going to need. Yeah, man. So JB agree with the 1-1 to penalties, and then it's up in the air, and him call a Jamaica win. Yeah, man. I think the Antonio thing was just timing, man. It just, if he could have gotten a deal maybe in January and played since from January to now, I think he's in the team. But it was just 2 games. It was just too soon. And I mean, he played his first game. If you think about it, they would have when was Sunday? Sunday would have been the 22nd. So that would have been the last time they played games. He played a game on the 12th and a game on the 18th, right? And then it was the window. So if they would have been leaving then, I mean, clubs would have had to have been notified, back in, let me see, clubs would have had to be notified about the like the 8th of that month, 6th, 7th, somewhere around there, like 2 to 3 weeks before. So if we're being honest, like Mikel Antonio at that time, if that was the case, Mikel Antonio at that time, I don't think his signature was official with that club until the 2nd of March. So he pretty much, when they were getting ready to send out initial correspondence to clubs about possible call up for their player, he wouldn't have had a club for them to send it to. So I just think the timing just wasn't quite right for him. And Mikel is probably one of those players, as many are, who were on the fringes to make this roster for this playoff, are saying, please, guys, just get it over the line, because I'm going to do everything in my power to get fit and have the coach just have to pick me for this World Cup. I think Mikel Antonio will be one of those guys as well. So, and I honestly believe that, like, the coaching staff and Jamaica in general, if he's able to, get fully fit in the Qatar Stars League and just stay fit, play the rest of the season out, I think a lot of people wouldn't mind having him in the squad, because even though he's at the age he's at and what he's gone through, I feel like he's still a player that can, if it's even just to create space for other players, I just think he's going to occupy the attention of others, and that could open up areas for other players to have more space to do damage. So I would definitely think that he would be someone that definitely would be thought about to be selected. Not saying that it's a must, but yeah, I think he would definitely be in the running. But it's up to him to have his fitness and really, get there. Antonio said the championship and EPL clubs were playing with him about him country. Out him a dead with laugh. LOL. Yeah, well, him country no out. Thought league got halted for a few days with the war, missed a game window or so. In Qatar, maybe they did have to cancel some games, but yeah, maybe like that last weekend before the window, maybe. Let me see, Stars League. No, they played the games round 19. They played the games, and then round 20 is after the window. So yeah, no, they played their games. Unless you're talking about a different league. I know in Israel they have halted. I spoke about DR Congo this entire show. Just rewind the video. I spoke about your team the entire show. Qatar. No, man, they played. They played. Yeah, I would have gone a little more Trevante. I think Trevante might have gotten bad luck as well due to what's going on in his country now. I think that's why maybe they didn't bother looking at East or Stuart, because they have had to halt their league. I don't even know if they could get out. Please, brothers, next time don't let team like Curacao take your place. I don't feel comfortable to face Jamaica because I love you guys. Yo, Kevin, believe me, if we didn't want to be here either. Trust me, my boss. We didn't want to be here either. No, I meant they wanted him to try out to sign him, and he wasn't having it. Okay. Yeah. They said it, but I mean, he'll probably look back at that one day and say he was being stupid because at the end of the day, Mikel, like it's not necessarily about you as a player or what they think of you, bro. It's just that I mean they're making a huge investment in you, and so they just need to know that your body can hold up. You know that's why they wanted you to do the the 10-day thing and play a game and see how you react, and our medical team look at you after that and see. And I mean you have to expect that, bro. You're in a very 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 deadly car accident. I don't have to remind you because you did it, but I mean I think that's where they were coming from. But I think you alluded to it when you spoke about it. You said you kind of were in your feelings and you had too much pride, you know and who knows, if you hadn't done that, maybe you would be in this playoff team right now. If you just let go of your pride and just signed and got in and trusted that you would eventually earn, what you're probably due to earn, even at your age. But look, who am I to say? I can't really judge you in the moment how you felt, but I think one day you'll look back and say that, yeah, man, I should have humbled myself after that, and maybe I could have been back in a situation that was more along the lines of what I was thinking I would do. Because I'm sure you didn't think you'd be in Qatar right now. It was clear you wanted to stay in England and play your football. But hey, you have to at some point you had to find something. And I'm glad that you did this because at least now you can be in the conversation again to be in these squads. People asking about you. If you weren't playing, um, it would have been a much shorter answer to Kevin just now. I would have said, yo, I'm not playing. But because you're playing now, it's at least a conversation again. So that's good. Um, yeah, what's going on tomorrow? So Germany play Ghana tomorrow. Okay, should be good. Other than that, is not much going on. What's tomorrow? Monday. Yeah. No, there's some JPL tomorrow. I think Racing play Treasure Beach, I want to say. Yeah, Racing Treasure Beach, Waterhouse, Spanish Town, and Arnett and Mount Pleasant. That should be a good one. Well, I saw that they were advertising the Racing Treasure Beach one. I wonder if the Arnett and Mount Pleasant game is going to be shown as the doubleheader game. I wonder. That would be nice. If that game is on YouTube, I'll probably watch that and then do the tactical preview show after that late night again. Yeah, you know my style. Um, so that sounds like a plan for that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Tactical preview tomorrow. We'll dive a bit deeper into the tactics of everything. Look at the keys to victory. Look at the key players I think we need to look out for Congo. And also which we got a preview of tonight, just going through the team. But we're gonna dive a little bit more in depth tomorrow. Talk more about the players in detail, more about the coaches' tactics in detail, at least what I gather from what I've watched and looked at of them. Um, and yeah, I think it's going to be another one that you can get a lot of information from. Hopefully, our Congolese brothers tune in as well as our Jamaican brothers, and we can have the convos like we've been having in the comment section tonight. Um, and I hope, Joe Guy, that you go back in the video and see that I did give DR Congo all the credit in the world today. Literally, it was a full 2-hour program dedicated to the DR Congo players for the most part, what they're doing, how much they're playing in their clubs, and what they've done in their careers for the DR Congo as well. Um, yeah, man, too much ego. It's a really hard, man. Maybe all these trips representing us, it finally rubbed off, finally rubbed off. But yeah, man, it's quite an interesting one, you know. As I said, I've been getting a lot of people sending me clips and IG reels, um, just about this DR Congo team and what they have been up to. You know, what their content creators have been up to, read DR Congo and Jamaica, but it's an interesting one, man. A lot of people have a lot to say. Trust me. Let me see.
Don't let them track runners beat you, bro. Congo, do not let them track runners beat you, bro. They can't play ball. Listen, on paper, Congo should be beating these lot black and blue. On paper, Congo should be beating the fuck out of them. Just on players, innit? But you know international football, you can't trust it too much. And you can't trust Congolese men either. Listen, Congo, you have no excuse to not win this game. I cannot lie to you, bro. Jamaica, their squad ain't the best. Congo, you've got a better squad than them, bro. On paper, they can still give you a lot of scare, but Jamaica can still win it, but hopefully not. They shouldn't be winning. This is very big. This is very big for both countries. I don't remember the last time any of them won the World Cup. I don't even know if Jamaica have been in it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But listen, Congo, smoke them, yeah? Smoke them, please. Hey, you already know what time and I'm on if Congo lose, bro. Hey, Congo, don't fuck about, bro. Yo, Congo versus Jamaica.
Yo, the man switch fast, bro. Yo, you're the man that talk at first. You're the man. Yeah.
Will Congo make it to the World Cup?
Of course. No, that's not a question. Actually, this is the training. The training here.
The training for
yes, the training. Yeah. And you know, when you're gonna face Jamaica, even though we love them, you know, we love the
Jamaicans and Congolese. They like to dance, boy.
In England, especially, people are actually, you know, confusing. When they see Jamaican people and Congolese people, they don't know, you know, which country. Yes, actually.
Man, Jamaica is likely to be on the way, but I think they've got all the qualities to do it. I think we are the favorites against Jamaica, so I would say we will be back at the World Cup next year. This year, actually.
Yo, so man, they say, yo, they'll be back, you know.
Congo Léopard, mon équipe nationale. Congo, mon pays, foufou, ma nourriture. S'il vous plaît, nous jouons ce 31 mars contre Jamaïque, les Jamaïcains, les Masters là des Bob Marley, les Masters qui aiment les mouvements là. On doit les gagner, Master. On doit partir en Coupe du Monde. Notre génération n'est jamais partie en Coupe du Monde. Ce match est sérieux pour nous. Si vous perdez ce 31 mars, de toute façon, les Congolais vont se fâcher contre vous. Ah, vous allez regretter en ralenti. S'il vous plaît, c'est un match important. Je me suis même mis à genoux. Je suis à genoux. Je vous demande.
Yo, I know him I say all the way, but we hear him say something about the people from Bob Marley, the people them must smoke. Me hear that part there.
We will be there. We will be there. Trust me, we will be there. Next Tuesday, Congo versus Jamaica, fighting for the World Cup spot. I can't lie. We're not letting these track runners beat us, bro. All you guys are known for is being fast, bro. You guys don't have nothing on the pitch when it comes to La Congolais. On paper, we should be violating these lot. On paper, we should be absolutely taking the ridicule out of these lot. But obviously, we can't trust internationals and we can't low-key trust Congolese men. And we got Wisa playing as well. We got Wisa playing, actually after what we said to Newcastle. Chancellor Mbemba, I trust you with your captaincy and your pure tactical skills that you'll keep the defense locked in, on tap, on loading. But yo, Congo's winning, bro. Congo has to win. There's no other option. Congo will win. For 74 years, we've been waiting. We've been waiting for our country to be on FIFA, the next FIFA game, or now FC UK. We are not letting these pace merchants, these track runners, ruin it for us. I want to see this country in the World Cup in June, and most importantly, in the next FIFA game released in this year. That needs to happen. I don't care. I'll fight anyone in the comments. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Yeah, man. So people them send me all them something there all day, brother. All day. People sending me these videos, you know. But people, listen. Mans need to get some rest. You know, if we could, we would just string up and do videos all the time. But it's not the path we chose in life. We have other things that are important to us that need our time as well. And most importantly, that's family. So in order to be there for the family, mans need to get rest. So that starts now. So people, let me go ahead and jump off of this right now. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you that passed through, each and every one of you that stuck around throughout the video. And we greatly, greatly appreciate all of the views, all of the likes. Like I said, we got about 30 new subs on this video. So we're greatly, greatly appreciative of that. The more we can build the platform, the more you guys might can see me here more often. You never know. You never know. I was watching something today, a content creator, a whole other thing, not football related. And I've been watching him from he had like about 400 subs. And literally today, when I looked at his sub count, he was on 102,000. And that's literally in the space of, I don't know, 11, 12 months. So, you know, the thing with him is he was able to find something he really liked to do. And I think it comes across that he really enjoys doing it. And while the level that he was able to grow at has, you know, obviously is dwarfs what I have been able to do. At the same time, one thing that I have noticed with the people that have followed my channel is it's a very consistent reason why people follow my channel. And I think that's a great thing, because if people can basically be your marketers for you and tell people, listen, if you want quality where this is concerned, you know you can get it here. If that reputation can continue to build as it has, then pretty much the sky is the limit, because your reputation really matters. And so the fact that I've been able to build one organically, by whether it's on my own channel, I have to give a shout out to all the other content creators that have given me a chance on their channel. Definitely like JD from iMaxit, put me on his channel before. You know, others have let me call in and kind of gain somewhat of a personality inside this little YouTube Jamaica Reggae Boyz thing that we have. And so I have to give all of them people some credit as well. And of course, you have to give yourself some credit, because, you know, no matter what kind of start you would have been given, or any kind of help you get, in order to continue to have those people want to come back, you have to bring something to the table. So we have to realize that in this whole grand scheme of things, the person you're looking at as well, or yourself, would have caused you to have some success as well. So people, just know that your life can change in a moment. The main thing is to make sure that you're ready for it, right? So we have been continuing to try to learn the craft and get better at it, and try to understand this whole YouTube thing. And as we grow and we go, we see that the people are really tapping in and tuning in, and we're gratefully thankful for that, because we know that you guys don't have to spend your time doing this. You could be anywhere else and you decide to be here. So thanks again for the support, people. Again, I'm gonna get some rest as well. All those on the other side of the world, in Europe and those sides of the world, getting your day started. Big up yourselves, and I hope you have a productive day. Like I said, we will be back. We will be back tomorrow night, people, for the tactical preview show, where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the tactical side of things. Today was a fact-finding mission, people. We got to see what the DR Congo squad look like, who the players are, what them value, how much them are play, what them do for them country so far. And tomorrow, we're going to go even further and take a look at the tactical side of things. And you know that's where we like to make our name. So people, make sure you're tapped in for that tomorrow. I will make a thumbnail for that at some point tomorrow before the show, and then I'll try to get out some kind of link so you guys can drop a like from early and help with the visibility of the show. But people, thanks so much again for the support. And no, I'm not no damn battle, and it's not Arsenal time yet. Era, leave them alone. Leave them out of this era. Leave them out tight. Leave them out tight. Sure. Ruby said we're not making no World Cup. We're gonna wait 74 years. Well, it was 54, because it's 74 them go. So 54 years that, but yeah. So it'll be 58 years for them. Yeah, man. But big up people. Thanks again for the support. Again, I'm Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. You see it, people. You see it, people. Just don't worry about the other two. Just worry about this right now. That. Just worry about that part. I know someone in like the other two words on there. So just, you see that? That way I say. That way I say, people. That. I try to do the Yakuza sign for this. Yep. J-A-M. Jamaica.